What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the brand new Bolt Fan Podcast. It's your boy Josh, and I'm here with my brother for episode number 44. What a crazy thing. Yeah, dude. We're really on episode number 44. We started this thing in February. It's now July. We've done 44 episodes.
Well, crap, man. I told you when we get to 100, we're no longer new.
Yes, that's why I'm still introducing us as the brand new Bolt Fan Podcast, but we're 44 episodes in, and it's been a blast. So thank you for doing this with me. Thank you to the audience for listening. But Trevor, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Got off work early, had a good night's sleep. Doing good.
With the new one, that's impressive. Yeah, that's what's up. All right. Well, we had to start off with a little bit of positivity because, as you may have seen, this is the Fear Factor episode. And what that means is Trevor and I have talked glowingly about the Chargers offseason all year long. But today is the day we have to bring a little bit of perspective, maybe a little negativity, maybe a little bit of fear. A little fear is healthy. So let's talk about it. We're going to talk today about Trevor and I have each put together a list of 5 things that are not red flags, but yellow flags that scare us a little bit. About what, if our season doesn't go well, what do we need to be aware of? What do we think it would be? So we'll see how much overlap there is. I haven't seen his list. He hasn't seen my list. And we'll see how it goes. So Trevor, why don't you give us your number one fear? And let's go ahead and start there.
Number one as in like the thing I'm most worried about, or number one as in like just number one on my list?
I think our number one is going to be the same. So I'd say let's just go the number one thing you're most worried about. If we go, 8-9 and we miss the playoffs, what happened? What's the number one thing that you'd be worried about?
Go out towards ACL.
Okay, that was oddly specific. You just had to say injuries, dude. We did not speak that into existence. Like that, hey, bro, that's wild.
I mean, that's what it would be. That's the only thing that's keeping him off the field. He tried coming back this last year. But it's going to have to be something serious, and I don't want to see that happen.
So you're saying offensive line injuries or just injuries as a whole?
I think offensive line specifically. I think I'm comfortable enough with, as long as Herbert's healthy too. Like I don't want that dude.
Yeah.
I don't want that dude out here stiff-arming people with a broken hand again. I know he will, but there's only so much a body can take, man. He's been doing that crap he's on what, year 7 now?
Year 7.
Yeah, he's had injuries like every year. Like he's played through them all. He's not Joe Burrow. Just casually throwing that out there because I know you love Burrow.
Yeah.
No, but I don't want him to be playing injured. I want him to be able to do what he's going to do. But I think O-line specifically, because if Vlad McConkey or QJ goes down, I have confidence in Herbert and Mike McDaniel to still make plays, still get other people the ball, still use other weapons. So I'm not worried about a specific offensive player getting hurt, more so the offensive line, because we saw last year what happens if Herbert doesn't have protection. So
I will say I like our depth better on the O-line this year. I think they did a good job of throwing bodies at it. I don't know how good they are, but they threw bodies at it, and we have 4 or 5 guys at each spot. So there's enough depth. I feel decent, but obviously the big ones are Alt and Slater. We can't really go without those guys. So injuries are definitely the number one concern for pretty much every team in the league. So, that's not like a Charger-specific take, but after the trauma that we just endured with everybody being injured last year and the cluster injuries on the O-line, it is kind of a thing for us more than anybody else. I think the Chargers and the Niners are the two where it's like, all right, we got a little PTSD from the injuries. So
maybe the Bengals a little bit.
Bengals a little bit for sure.
And that one's not a shot. That's just legit.
No, yeah, that's legit. So, all right, so we got our first one out the way. First fear, I think everyone would say injuries. But go ahead and give me your second one. If there's something that you could foresee maybe being a problem, it doesn't mean you necessarily think it is a problem. These are yellow flags, not red. I just want to clarify. The sky's not falling, but tell me your second biggest fear.
Quentin Johnson.
Really?
I'm worried that I'm really hopeful. Don't get me wrong. I really want him to continue getting better like he has the last couple seasons. But, man, I got some PTSD from all those drops and balls just bouncing off his hands.
Interesting. So, I'll be real with you. Quentin Johnson didn't make my list, but my number 5, lowest fear on my list, was I've been saying all offseason, Ladd McConkey's numbers went down because of Keenan Allen, and he's going to shoot back up. But number 5 on my list was, what if Ladd doesn't shoot back up to 1,100 yards? I was actually worried about Ladd, not because I'm worried about the talent or anything like that, but
Yeah.
what if Ladd just doesn't bounce back the way I'm expecting and isn't really a number 1 receiver, and then Quentin Johnston's your number 1? So I think QJ is what he is, and what he is a really good number 2. But if Ladd's not a real number 1, that was my concern. So it's interesting to see you have a similar take. I'm just a little opposite side of the same coin. So, but yeah, so I think that's a fair concern, though, that one of those two guys they don't have the
Yeah.
year that we're expecting.
We
However,
don't have some set all-star wide receiver. I mean, that's what I kept saying all off season long was I wanted them to go get some big time wide receiver, and they haven't. And I trust the fact that Harbaugh's been saying, look, these 3 have been playing phenomenal. Talking about Ladd, QJ, and Trey Harris, and then you throw in Brandon Thompson in that mix. Like they're very confident in their wide receiver room.
Yeah.
They're just a lot of young guys, and that stresses me out. We all know this.
Yeah. I'm also very confident in this receiver room, and I like it a lot. So, but like I said, I'm confident because I think Ladd McConkey's a real number 1 in the NFL. If he's a number 2 and we have 2 really good solid 2s, it's a different conversation. So, yeah, I like that take. I think that's a good take. So, all right, man, that's good. Give me your number 3. We're very similar so far.
This is where I feel like I'm running into the hot take territory.
Okay.
I'm a little bit worried about the chemistry between McDaniel and Herbert. I know that they've been getting on great so far, but McDaniel came in and immediately switched up a lot of stuff about Herbert's stance, the way he plays, which I think is all for the better. But I'm worried, like, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Like, he's been playing that way since high school, where he just is a big body in the pocket, and now all of a sudden we're trying to switch him up to play more like Patrick Mahomes and I mean, he showed the last couple of years he can be more mobile, but like to just completely switch up the play style, like that stresses me out a little bit.
Well, I think so. If I were playing the devil's advocate to that, I would just say this: that the different play style is to protect him from taking those hits, so he doesn't have to be that mobile. The thing about McDaniel, where he was really successful at Brock Purdy, who's an anticipatory thrower. And Tua Tagovailoa, who neither one of those guys are as mobile as Herbert, but they throw the ball with anticipation and layer their throws. So I think that if Herbert learns to do some of those things along with the mobility and along with the bazooka of a right arm, you could have. So it could be the best thing where he avoids getting hit. Tua was I think it was 6th in the league in sacks. Like he was one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the league last year. Now, part of that is Tua had all the concussions, so they just throw it in the dirt. Don't take a hit. But I do think that some of this offense will protect Herbert from the injuries, and maybe even, to be real, this is the hard thing about elite athletes, it might protect him from himself, where he's so unafraid to stiff arm someone with a broken hand, and this offense will just be like, nope, 2 seconds, get it out. 2 seconds, get it out. So,
well, like
we'll
I said,
see.
I'm still very excited to see them run the Mike McDaniel offense. And it's like we said at the beginning, it's the yellow flags, not red flags. I'm just a little bit worried that changing a play style might cause a little bit of issues. And it might be that it just causes issues week 1, 2, 3 or something like that. And then come week 4, all of a sudden you see Herbert go off for 6 touchdowns.
I truly expect, so their bye week is week 7, I believe. I really believe that that's when you're going to see coming out of that bye week 8. I really expect to see this offense look very different. I think they'll be good and they'll be solid for the first 7, but this offense has so much motion, so much movement. I think there's a lot of guys who won't fully be comfortable until that bye week when they get a week off and get to reset some things. I think if they come, I've been saying all along, I think they need to be 4-3 going into the bye week, and then this offense will click. So I think you're on to something there, where this offense will look much better around Thanksgiving than it does, at week 1.
I mean, learning any new offense is a challenge as is, and then you throw in one that has this many moving parts.
Yeah.
It makes it easy to mess it up.
Yeah, 100%. Funny enough, did you watch, I don't know, because I forget when the video came out. It might have been when you were on that paternity leave. But the Chargers put out a video of like Harbaugh mic'd up at practice. One of the things he said, with the referees are coming in because they have all these refs, they use the practices to train referees. So they send the refs in and they're like, "Hey, coach, whatever you need from us." He goes, "There's gonna be some false starts because we're learning all of our motions." And he said, like, our guys are gonna false start a lot today. Don't even worry about it. And like he's telling the refs on the mic'd up clip, to I was like, sorry, I saw Laura just dart by in the background. I was like, what the heck is going on?
We're getting our car fixed right now.
Gotcha. No, you're good. So yeah, all that to be said, that was something that I found interesting. He said there's going to be false starts. So I think it'll take 2, 3, 4 weeks to get that dialed in. And I think the Chargers' schedule, having the first 2 games be the Cardinals and Raiders, honestly is such a blessing because you won't have to worry about as elite of defenses.
Makes that week 3 a huge, even bigger test than it already is, though.
Well, week 3 against Buffalo and then week 4 against at Seattle, at Buffalo, we're going to learn a lot about this team in week 3 and week 4. If they split those and they win the first 2, we're in good shape. We come out of that 3-1, life's really good. So, all right, that one was not on my list. So go ahead and give me your 4th one, and then I'll get to mine in a second. The ones that I haven't had.
The defensive line, just kind of as a whole.
Really?
I'm not as worried about the edges, but like I'm worried about our ability to stop the run game.
Okay. What gives you that concern? I'm curious because I don't have that concern at all. I actually think it's one of the strengths of the team.
I don't know. I just don't feel like we have much up the middle. And I mean, Akeem Mesidor, again, rookie. Don't know how he's gonna play out. Yes, he's older. He has a little bit more wisdom, maturity, whatever. I mean, the overall. I mean, we lost Owe, which is always. I mean, whatever. We've been talking about that all off season. We have Thule, sorry. Which I love Thule. I kind of want a Thule jersey. Same initials and all.
That'd be sick.
But like Max getting older, which I don't think he's really like falling off, but like he's still getting older. Older you get, more injury prone you get, the more slow you get. So I don't know. It just worries me a little bit. Again, just a yellow flag. It's down number 4 on my list. It's not a huge concern of mine.
Yeah.
Just slight concern. Kind of a little bit stressed out about the D line. Kind of the whole box in general. I mean, I like Deion Hanley too, but the whole box is responsible for the run stopping, not just the line.
I think that where we're going to be okay is I think that they have a deep rotation of really good run stoppers and big bodies Dalvin Tomlinson was a high-level run stopper. That's what he's been. He's not going to give you a lot of pass rush, but he's a good run stopper, and we just brought him in. Again, just like what you said about Khalil Mack, a little bit older, so maybe not the same player he was in his prime, but prime Dalvin Tomlinson with the Giants was really good, and I think that he was solid last year with the Cardinals. Jamari Caldwell
solo on the Cardinals.
Well, I mean, it's a bad situation, but yeah, that's. But he was solid. You can check it. I don't have his PFF grades and all that in front of me right now, but he's solid. He's not like the top guy in the league, but he's very good. Jamari Caldwell was a 3rd round pick out of Oregon. He's going into year 2, and I think I'm expecting a big jump from him. And he did really good last year in the run stop, and had like 2 sacks, I believe, maybe 1. Justin Aboigbe is more of your pass rusher from the inside, who had 6 sacks, but last year from the interior, that's really solid. So I feel great about those guys. And then, and I was like, I know there's someone I'm missing. Teair Tart is an attitude and culture guy as well.
Right. So, no, I love Teair Tart. There's a reason I didn't say his name.
Yeah. So I think that the addition of Dalvin Tomlinson, basically what we did is we lost Deshaun Hand and we added Dalvin Tomlinson, who I think is an upgrade. And last year I believe we're 7th in the league in rushing yards against. So, and also you mentioned the whole box. Denzel Perryman's not good in coverage. I'll tell you what he can do though. That man will flow downhill and hit a running back in the backfield. So I think we're okay. I'm going to touch on that concern with something I'm going to say a little bit later, but I'll let you.
I got my number 5 kind of ties right into it too, because part of it too is the whole defense is my number 5th one. Just defense as a whole. I think we took a hit defensively. I don't think we're going to be as good this year. Say hi, babe. I don't think we're going to be as good defensively this year. We have a new defensive coordinator. We got new defense to learn. I mean, to an extent, I don't know what O'Leary's planning on keeping the same, changing, whatever. But it still is a different defensive coordinator. Um, I mean, I think as a whole, we increased on offense this offseason, and we went down a couple of slots on defense. So it stresses me out a little bit. Again, a little bit, not like super worried about it. But it stresses me out a little bit. It's like, okay, how far are we gonna drop on defense this year?
Yeah. No, that's understandable. Well, you kind of tied in perfectly to one of mine, so I'll go ahead and jump in here because it's so. My concern is not with the players or the personnel per se on the defensive side. Chris O'Leary is a first-time defensive coordinator. He's only 33 years old. He's younger than Khalil Mack, who's on his team. Uh, so he's really good and really talented. And if there's anybody who gets a Harbaugh stamp of approval, I trust because Mike McDonald was young when Harbaugh had him, and he's now a Super Bowl champion head coach for the Seahawks. Jesse Minter was young, and we got him. So I trust Harbaugh to pick the right guy. I have one concern. He's quote unquote running the same system as Jesse Minter. That's what everyone's hyping it up as. But if you look at what he did at Western Michigan last year, they blitz at a much higher percentage than what the Chargers did. So he's not running the exact same system because he's going to run a lot more blitzes and a lot more man coverage. But here's my real question. Why was he running those blitzes? Keep in mind, he was coaching Western Michigan University. This is not exactly a football powerhouse. So was he running those blitzes because he knew the other team was better, so he had to create some chaos, and it wasn't really how he wants to run it? Or is he just more aggressive of a DC than Jesse Minter? I like our system where we're running light boxes. We have a couple of big bodies trying to stop the run with light boxes, and we play, nickel and dime coverages to stop the pass. I really like the way Jesse Minter did things. So I'm concerned about how he calls a game. I'm very confident he can put a game plan together, Monday through Saturday. I don't know how he calls on a play-to-play basis. And here's the other thing I was a little concerned about on this same topic. I looked it up today. So what a gauntlet that this man has to go through. The team has a hard schedule. We know that. But the opposite offensive play callers, let's go through them really fast. Week 1 of your first NFL game as a DC, you get Matt LaFleur, the brother of Mike LaFleur. Or I'm sorry, I might have flipped him. LaFleur is the new coach for the Cardinals. So do I think they have a great offense and all these talented players? No. But I don't know what that offense is going to be with a new coach out of the Shanahan tree. And last year, he was the offensive coordinator under Sean McVay for the Rams. So there's going to be we're talking about McDaniel's going to pull out some tricks on week 1. So are the Cardinals, and I'm a little nervous about that. Week 2, it doesn't get any easier. You get Clint Kubiak, who was now the head coach of the Raiders, who was the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks last year, who just won a Super Bowl. So Kubiak can call an offense. Week 3, you got to go up to Buffalo and deal with Joe Brady and Josh Allen. I was like, oh crap, man. I don't know who the OC is going to be for the Seahawks because they lost Kubiak. But week 5, you're getting Sean Payton. Week 6, you get Andy Reid. Then you get a bye week, and then you're going to go face Sean McVay. A couple weeks later, you're going to get Josh McDaniel and the Patriots, and then you're going to get Kyle Shanahan later, and then you're going to have to face Sean Payton, Andy Reid, and Clint Kubiak again. So this dude is about to face a murderer's row of elite play callers. So I'm actually really concerned about I think O'Leary is going to be a good DC, and I really don't worry about how good he's going to be 2-3 years from now. This year, I'm afraid of him getting exposed by Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Andy Reid, and Sean Payton, which, I mean, who could blame him? Everybody would. So, yeah. So does that strike any fear in you with the new DC and the OCs we got to face this year?
I mean, yeah, to an extent, obviously. I don't know anyone who would. I don't care who your DC is. Like Jesse Minter, that would strike fear with me still. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's not like I'm ever easy going into Arrowhead. Like, I'm never just like, oh, yeah, nope, we're going to just destroy them, like, defensively. We're going to shut them down. It's not practical.
No.
Like, you don't just go in and like shut down Josh Allen at home. You don't shut down Patrick Mahomes at home. Like, not often.
Bro.
Like,
Yeah.
so
And that, I mean, dude, you didn't even mention the Rams. Like,
yeah,
and they're basically, everyone's already getting crowned them Super Bowl champions. They're getting fitted for their
right.
rings this week. So, uh, all right. So that one, that's, I think, other than the injuries, that was my biggest fear. And I want to clarify, I really believe in Chris O'Leary. This is
Yeah.
a tough ask for anybody to take on. And like you said, I would feel nervous about this if we still had Jesse Mentor.
So you
On
said
this,
you got the injuries, the Lad McConkey, and
yep.
then Jesse Minter.
So I got two more for you really quick, and then we can shut it down. I'll go to this one. I'm actually going to jump ahead because I'm going to go to my number 4 on my list. The guard play makes me nervous. Who's your starting left guard? Is Cole Strange actually going to hold up? Little concerned about the guards, but I think the Mike McDaniel scheme will cover up for any flaws there. But
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned. The yellow flags on that one. My radar's up. And a lot of this, I want to clarify. A lot of this isn't necessarily that I'm worried about it, but it's like, man, I got to see it for myself to believe fully. Once I see the first preseason game where the offensive line plays, and if Herbert doesn't get hit, I'm gonna feel really good. Like it'll be that easy for me. The first after week 2, if we've just only given up 10 points in each of our first 2 games, I'm gonna feel so confident in Chris O'Leary going to Buffalo. But I just got to see it. I'm not saying it's a problem, but I got to see it.
Yeah, because Mike McDaniel and Herbert are going to score more than 10 points. Like, if our defense can hold a team to 10 points, we're winning that game.
Genuinely, I think if we keep them under 20, we win every game. Like, there's no reason this offense shouldn't put up 21 every single game. Like, so yeah, I'm with you there. All right. My last one, I've talked about it plenty, but I'm going to bring it up again, man.
Yeah. I have no clue where this is going.
You absolutely should.
It's just
The corner's terrifying,
man.
Oh, okay. I thought you genuinely. I was like, dude, the corners scare me, bro. I've said it before. You talked about the D line. I'm like, oh, bro, I feel great about the D line. I think we'll get plenty of pressure. We'll stop the run. We'll do all that. Can Tarheeb still hold up in coverage? Can Nico Reed hold up in coverage? If Tarheeb still or Cam Hart get injured, can we? Are we okay? Are we okay there?
I like Cam Hart.
I have so many concerns.
I really like Cam Hart. He's one of my favorite players.
I like our top 3, but man, I kind of so last year I had a buddy of mine who's a Cowboys fan, and I was ripping him, but I was also very serious. I was like, "You guys are going to win 5 games this year." He's like, "What are you talking about? No, we're not. We're going to win more than 5 games." I was like, "No, you're not." And he's like, "Oh, well, we got CeeDee Lamb, we got George Pickens," and I said, "Yeah, you're one pulled hamstring from CeeDee Lamb from sucking." And I told him that, and I was like, "You have no defense, and you're so thin on offense." Now, I think they made a lot of adjustments. They're going to be really good this year. I believe differently about that team. But I was right. They won 6 games and had a tie. So he came back at the end of the year. He's like, "Oh, see, I told you they'd win more than 5." I was like, "Really?" But anyways, I say all that to say this, that I feel similar about our cornerback room. I feel good about our top 3. But we play so much dime and nickel coverage, we need 5 really good corners, and I think we have 3. And I think that you're one rolled ankle or one pulled hamstring from not being good. And that's scary, dude.
Man, that's what happened when we had Everett. Or Verrett, not Everett. Verrett.
I was like, Everett, the tight end, Gerald Everett?
We had Everett too.
Yeah.
No, when we had Verrett, dude, we went to that game in Kansas City and we watched him freaking like blow out.
It was a hamstring. It was a hamstring, I remember.
Well, I thought it was Achilles. I think he did both.
No, it was a hammy. That year he had been injured before. He came back, and then
it was also the year we watched Keenan Allen tear a hamstring up in Kansas City.
Yep. Dude,
That's stopped over to Kansas City.
It was tough, man, because it was like I feel like you're just one minor injury, where it's like, hey, maybe he only misses 2 or 3 games. Like one of those guys pulls a hamstring. They're only got 2 or 3 games. Not a major deal. But with our schedule, that 2 to 3 games, let's just say if you get hurt against the Rams, you're facing Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. Well, you're following that up. Who's there? Then you're facing Houston. Then you're facing Baltimore. It's like, we can't afford to have our guys out for 2 to 3 games on that stretch. Or if it's early, it's like, oh, well, he gets hurt against the Raiders. Okay, well, now you got Buffalo, Seattle, Kansas City, Denver coming up. So a minor pulled hamstring for one of our 3 corners feels devastating right now. And I watched our offensive line fall apart because we didn't have enough depth behind our tackles. So that's kind of where my fears come in. I think we have more depth on the offensive line. We've done a good job there. I don't feel like we've got enough depth on the defense. Now, if we go sign Rasul Douglas or Tre'Davious White, which are both free agents and are still out there, every one of my fears go away and we're good to go. I don't know if they will, but that's where
Dude, man, that's me with like the wide receivers. Like,
yeah.
there's still wide receivers out there that we can go sign.
I don't want any of them. I don't
I know
want
you don't.
Stephon Diggs in my
And
locker
and
room.
the way that the coaches are talking, I don't think we're even looking at them. Like it doesn't even seem like they're interested in going to sign. I'm drawing a blank on
The big 3 right now are Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Tyreek Hill. And
Yeah, I
frankly, I
mean
don't want any of them.
they don't seem to have any interest in going to get any of them. Did
I
Juwan
don't
Jennings
either.
ever sign? He was the one I really wanted all off season.
Wait, who?
Juwan Jennings.
Yes, he went to Minnesota.
He's
Yep.
who I really wanted all off season long. I wanted them to go get him.
You and I talked about Jawan Jennings, and then you and I also talked about Tyquan Thornton from the Chiefs. But Thornton re-signed with the Chiefs. Jennings went to, I believe, Minnesota. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. But yeah. So I'll be real. Those are my fears right there. So for me, my big 5 are obviously injuries. Chris O'Leary is a first-time DC, and then adding in who he's got to face on the other side. The corner's not holding up. The guard play, and then Lad McConkey, who I believe is going to have a great season. But if I'm wrong, we could be in trouble there at the receiver position because I'm banking all my we're fine at receiver on we have a number 1. We're good. So, you got anything else you want to add?
Nah, I'm good.
We hate doing this type of episode. I want to clarify because we
Yeah, it
are,
makes me sad.
yeah, we're fans, and fans stand for fanatic, and we are that, and we don't want to be negative. But as content creators for covering this team, we have to be honest and real about it. And I think there's a few, again, I'm calling them yellow flags. I'm not calling them red flags.
Well, I wrote him on a yellow sticky note.
You did a I did a full Google Doc with a bunch of notes on it. You wrote it on a sticky note. I love that. Trevor and I operate very different, and it's good for our podcast. But
This is how I got through college.
yeah,
Never took a single note in any of my classes, dude. I just like I suck with notes.
I take great notes,
I
and I
lose my
dropped
train
out
of
of
thought
college.
when I start focusing too hard on the note, and then I forget where I'm going, and then I don't listen anymore, and I just sit there and I listen, and I soak it all in, and that's how I operate.
You're a wild time, kid. Uh, but Trevor actually graduated college. I didn't, so who am I to tell him? It obviously worked. So, all right. Well, that being said, good little 28-minute episode. That's pretty solid. I think that's a good spot. But thank y'all for tuning in. We love y'all. Thank you for letting us do 44 episodes, man. That's crazy. And we're about to, let y'all behind the curtain here, breaking kayfabe. We're about to record number 45 right now. So we're at an
Blowing
even
all
number.
our secrets, man. Come on.
I know, yeah. Well, look, I'll just be real. We live in 2 separate states, with 2 separate time zones, 2 separate work schedules, and 3 kids between the 2 of us. So we are just kind of, you get in where you fit in, and right now we got to do 2 of them to make it work. So we're about to record episode number 45. So make sure you're looking for that. We just got back from vacation, and we recorded at Trevor's place. So that episode is live now. And so make sure you guys go check that one out on our channel, and a lot of good stuff. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so you never miss any of our amazing content. And with that being said, make sure, bolt up. We love y'all. Peace out. We'll talk to you in the next episode.